Hello everybody, here we are today talking about the Carolina Hurricanes, their recent good form, and just some other things as they get near the playoffs. So before we start with them, please make sure to subscribe if you're new to me or hockey, whatever the case may be. That being said, let's get on into it. So for those of you that consistently watch the channel, yes, I did get a haircut. It had been about a year since I had got a haircut. Today is my birthday, so going to be putting out a video today and then pre-recording a video for tomorrow because I'm going to be out of town. So yeah, there's that. But anyway, back to the talk about Carolina, a team that has been really good in recent years, fresh off of a 113-point season where they won the Metro and then went to the Eastern Conference Final. This has been a norm, if you will, for the team over the past few years. Win your division and win rounds in the playoffs and be generally one of the best teams in the league. So expectations were relatively high for the club as they entered the season. They brought in guys like Michael Bunting and Dmitry Orlov, and were a team where you're thinking, are they going to hit 110 plus points again this year, and what can they do? However, things did not start rosy for this side, as through their first 27 games they were 14-12-1 and were on pace for an 88-point season. They were 3 points back of the wild card spot with a lot of teams in front of them, and people were thinking, is this going to be the New Jersey Devils, where you see the Devils at this point now where they're not going to make the playoffs? That's what I think a lot of people are viewing Carolina as they had atrocious goaltending, the worst save percentage in that time, and had lost 4 in a row. This was a side that was really looking desperate to start out the year. However, since then, things have gone really well for them, as they are 31-9-6 over their past 46 games played and have the league's best points percentage in that time. So we're just going to be taking a look at some things that have gone well for them over a period and then just talk about them as they approach the playoffs. So let's do that. So since March 7th, the team has gone 9-2-1 instead 3 points back of the New York Rangers for the division lead. And while the Rangers probably have the edge here in getting the opportunity to win the division, Carolina could be in a spot where if things go really well like they have been as of late, they could go on to capture their 4th straight division title. And for them, maybe it doesn't mean a whole lot after winning 3 in a row, but I think for the fan base, this is the golden era of Hurricanes hockey in Carolina, and getting another division title would be the cherry on top of a good run. It would just kind of symbolize where this team is compared to where this team was. But looking back at what I said, they are 9-2-1 since March 7th. Why exactly did I pick that date? Well, that's because that's when goalie Frederik Andersen returned from his 46-game absence, and we had talked a lot about how this team was struggling with really good defensive numbers but having poor goaltending, and with Freddie coming back, things have gotten better. Now, things had gotten a little bit better since then, obviously, with Kochetkov and things before that, but with the arrival of Freddie Andersen, he's somebody that I feel like has been really underrated for his career. He had that really good 2021-2022 season, but over the course of his entire playing days with Anaheim, with Toronto, and with now, of course, this team, they've been able to put together a lot of wins. He is 8 wins shy of 300 career wins. We'll hit that probably by next season, maybe even this season with how things have gone. And I mentioned Freddie because during this run, he's had 5 games. He's got 5 wins, 1 shutout, and a .951 save percentage. Things have looked so good for him in this run and been exactly what he needed as well as what the team needed. He has the highest high danger save percentage in the league during this period as well at .961. And while he has been somebody that's not really been getting peppered a whole lot during this period, if you're like the Columbus Blue Jackets goalies, yeah, you're going to be getting peppered a lot, but still has been able to hold things down really well. And while I mentioned Kochetkov playing well recently, he's been somebody, again, that's been good. Now, Kochetkov's past 2 games haven't been great, but going into the postseason, if you can have a young goalie in Kochetkov that does have some playoff experience, and Freddie, somebody that is an experienced goalie that is hot as of late, and being maybe one of the hottest goalies entering the playoffs, that's going to be great. And for Freddie, he clearly has been really good over this period dating back to March 7th. And then, of course, too, you go back to a period right around here where you get Jake Guentzel. And Jake was the biggest fish in the free agent pool, or the trade market pool, if you will, and was really fun to be able to see him go to the Hurricanes. And he has 12 points in 9 games. That's going to be something you're really excited about. And I think a great thing with him is you're seeing good simple numbers, but good underlying numbers as well. He has 2 goals on 31 shots, but has clearly been a part of this team where things have gone well. In fact, when he's out there on the ice, they've outscored teams 16-1. And while you could kind of wonder how things are going to go here, the line of Guentzel, Aho and Jarvis has been really good. Like I said, being able to outscore teams 16-1 in this period is literally unrepeatable and unsustainable, but this is still something where you're saying, man, if things go incredibly well here and Gensel gets hot in the playoffs, he could be the guy that they really desperately needed, and you're glad to be able to go out there and get him. Things are looking good for him too, getting a lot of power play minutes, and this is, again, somebody that you brought in because you wanted to make a deep run and get over the hump. Gensel has the playoff experience. Gensel is averaging over a point per game. His line is playing well. He's getting a lot of opportunities on the man advantage. He hasn't scored the goals like you're hoping, but still, he is somebody to watch out for the playoffs, and again, could be contributed to how well this team has done during this period, as Freddie and him certainly being added back into the lineup are not bad things. And I'm even hoping that a guy like Evgeny Kuznetsov could provide something for them. He has 5 points in 9 games and was one of those things where it's unfortunate. You're hoping that he could be a little bit more noticeable when he gets brought in for Carolina, and earlier in his career he was, and I know how everything works out in Washington and things have been really weird for him, but I really do hope that he can be another guy come playoff time that can bring something to the table, because this is what it's all about for Carolina. I know a lot of times I talk about teams and how it's okay if they don't win the cup because they are a team that maybe the expectations aren't there. I talked about how yesterday, if the Rangers didn't win the cup, it's not the end all be all because this has been a really good era for them. However, for Carolina, I do feel like they have a little bit higher expectations. They have been really good on the PK, especially good at 5-on-5, and are a side that I would say at this point, with the deep runs that they've been on, to not be able to go to the cup and not be able to win it is a little bit problematic for me. I look at them being able to have probably a good duo as they approach the playoffs, some lines that are really good, an underrated guy like Seth Jarvis, and bringing in a big name like Gensel. You need to have those big expectations, and not only do we need to be thinking about a Stanley Cup final, but we need to be thinking about winning it. I don't really feel like for a team that's been able to average over 110 plus points over multiple seasons in recent years and be able to win their division and go to the conference final on multiple occasions, that's really asking a lot. So for me, looking at what the Carolina Hurricanes have been able to do for an extended period of time, but also as of late, I have really high hopes and really, really big expectations for them. And I'd say anything less than a Stanley Cup final appearance kind of feels disappointing. I'm not going to say that their window is necessarily shutting, but they do have some guys that are going to be off the books this year as well as next season. So you're probably looking at least 1, maybe 2 more kicks at the can where you have this really good roster. But they have paid some guys in recent years, and some of their players probably are going to be due for a little bit of money. Some other guys are getting a little bit older, so you have to retool the roster. But for a side that you were hearing talk about could Brandon Moore be fired after their first 27 games, it really is encouraging to see that they didn't go crazy here and end up moving on from him. They've rallied, they've been able to get back here, and they're going to crack 100 points again for the season. They are a side that went in at the deadline, and it's really rewarding to see a team like that be aggressive and actually be rewarded for that, because it can really backfire. And I'm hoping that, again, with Gensel being there, he can provide some big moments like he did with Pittsburgh and help this team win their first championship since 2006. So yeah, that's basically my video for the Carolina Hurricanes. Let me know your thoughts about the Caniacs down below. Also, again, I'm going to be putting out a video tomorrow. Hopefully nothing big happens, but I am going to be out of town. So if anything crazy big does happen, I'm not getting back till later tonight, or tomorrow I should say, and I'm not going to have any of my recording stuff with me. So if something really truly massive happens, you're probably either not going to get a video about it until late at night, or I'm just not going to be able to do a video over it. So anyway, let me know your guys' thoughts down below. Also, please make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new. Everybody stay safe. Have a great night. And you go love hockey, alright. Goodbye, Brigadiers and Brigadettes. This is your captain signing off. Have a great night.